Hey everybody, Andy Jenkins here. In this video, I'm going to literally show you what may very well be the single most advanced and powerful marketing methods in our industry. And I know this is a little weird, but I don't want you to take notes. I'll tell you why you don't need to take notes in a minute, but first, let me tell you what this video is all about. What we're about to discover are the most powerful marketing techniques used by the biggest companies in the world. Companies like Apple, companies like Verizon, companies like Valve and their Steam software service. Companies that are literally raking in billions. Now, chances are, if you've ever bought anything online, you've bought it because of some of what you're going to discover in this video. Now, before we begin, I want to give you a word of warning. What you're about to see is very advanced. You might feel a little bit overwhelmed, and yet I still maintain that you do not need to take notes. Why? Because at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you could have all of these campaigns electronically transplanted into your business by pressing one single button. First, let me show you the single most powerful marketing campaigns that are working on you. And they're working on me. And if you use what I show you right now, it can be working on your customers as well. Let's get started. Now, I'm going to do something a little unusual. I'm going to go away. Instead of me taking you on this advanced marketing tour, I'm going to introduce you to my great friend and marketing legend, Frank Kern. And he's going to show you how these campaigns work from both a customer-facing and from a behind-the-scenes perspective. Then I'll come back and tell you why I wanted him to be your professor for this section of the video. And here's something else that's important. Every marketing tip, tactic, and strategy Frank is going to show you can be automated with the right technology. Plus, one other thing that I'll share with you at the end of this video about having confidence that your marketing is going to be reliable and perform profitably. All right, let's go to Frank.
Everybody knows that if you want to sell stuff online, you really do two things. Number one, you build a list. Number two, you sell them stuff. And that's why I want to start with the very first fundamental campaign when it comes to automatically selling things online. This campaign is called the List Builder campaign, appropriately named, and here's how it works. We drive traffic, whether it's from an email list or Facebook ads or whatever, to a classic opt-in page. Everybody knows how that works. We're giving away something free in exchange to communicate with the prospect by email and try to sell them stuff. Of course, after they opt in, they go to a thank you page. That's where you say, hey, here's the stuff that you asked for on the opt-in page, right? But now what do? Well, next thing we have here is something called a sales sequence. It's very important to really understand the job of a sales sequence, how you send it out, and exactly what to say in a sales sequence. So, first of all, the purpose of a sales sequence is to simply pre-sell whatever it is you're offering on your sales page, right? So we're pre-selling it, we're getting them ready to buy it, and of course, we're wanting to send them to that sales page. Now, if you notice on the screen here, you see where I'm advising you to send 2 emails per day. I know that sounds crazy, but there's something that you might want to understand. See, here's the deal. Most people are not sitting around staring at their phones waiting for us to email them. I know, it would be amazing if that were true. Fact of the matter is, people are on so many email lists, they're getting so much email every single day that even if they're intensely interested in whatever it is you're selling, they're probably going to miss a lot of the emails you send. So that's why we send a couple of emails every day. Now let me show you what these emails are supposed to look like. So in a sales sequence, you'll notice we got a couple of emails a day, and the purpose of the email is to simply tell them how good the product is and why they would want to buy it. So I'm going to walk you through a really quick copy framework here. We start out by saying, hey, name, if you're really serious about the big result your product delivers, then you're going to love whatever the product is called. The next sentence, you say, here's why. With the product, you then tell them whatever the biggest benefit is that they can achieve, and you explain how they can get it without doing stuff that they don't want to do. And the next little block of copy here, you simply give a couple of bullet points about why they might want the product, and then you have a little link to go to the sales page. And that's essentially the framework of a sales sequence type of email. Now, if they click it, of course, they're going to go to a sales letter. This could be a video sales letter, or it could be a traditional sales letter, but you're driving them to something that makes your offer, right? So in a nutshell, they opt in, they get the thing they asked for, we send them a sales sequence for a couple days, and then they either buy it or they don't, right? Now here's where things get very, very interesting. This concept within and of itself is probably nothing new to you, right? But let's talk about the right way to really maximize the power of online automated sales and marketing. So check this out. We know a couple of things, right? First of all, we know that everybody who opts in is not actually going to go to your sales page. That's just normal. That's just the facts of marketing. We know that everybody who goes to your sales page isn't going to buy, right? If they did, you'd have 100% conversion. You'd be the greatest marketer in the history of marketing. It's simply unrealistic. So the question becomes now, well, what do we do with the people who don't buy? Now, obviously, if they do buy, we stop sending them these emails, of course. But for the ones who don't buy, let me tell you what your competition is doing. Your competition is sending them through something called a nurture sequence. What that usually translates into with most marketers is, okay, they opted in, they didn't buy my stuff. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to send them like a newsletter, email, or something every week, or even worse, I'm just going to bombard them with affiliate offers until they buy something from somebody else, right? Typically, this is really a fancy way of saying, I don't know what the heck to do with these people. I'm just going to email them stuff and see what happens. Now, that works for a lot of people, but if you really want to turbocharge your online sales and you really want to see your business explode, I want to introduce you to a concept that is really, really revolutionary. It's a concept called lead compounding. And what this means is you actually use multiple campaigns all tied together to exponentially increase the amount of revenue that you get from every single person that comes into your funnel. Now, here's how it works. Let's say that we had someone who had come through the list builder campaign, right? So they're your existing email subscriber. They opted in, you sent them through the sales sequence, they didn't buy. No problem. Most of your subscribers are going to fall into this category. That's just math. That's just human nature, right? That's the way online marketing works. So the question is, what are we going to do with this person, right? Well, we don't want to send that nurture sequence. We don't want to bombard them with affiliate offers, but we do want to continue to be able to make sales in a way that's like helpful to them, but also converts, right? Well, I want to introduce you to an incredibly powerful campaign. So powerful, in fact, that we have actual flames on the slides that we use to illustrate it. It's called a quick launch. Now, what a quick launch campaign does is it takes the mechanics of a classic product launch formula and compresses the entire campaign into something you can do in just a couple of days. It uses the psychology of giving people goodwill and results in advance, and then it uses the incredible scarcity of a true product launch sequence, and it does it all automatically. So here's how it works. First of all, we have someone can be in this campaign just because they're already on your list. They went through the other campaign and they didn't buy or whatever. But you can also use this particular quick launch campaign as a front-end funnel. That is to say, you could drive traffic to an opt-in page, just like the list builder campaign. They go to a thank you page, and regardless of whether or not they're an existing subscriber or they just came into your list from cold traffic, either way, we put them in something called a click sequence. Now, click sequences are amazing. Here's why. This type of email sequence, of course I'm going to show you the copy structure in a minute. This type of email sequence is really what I call a sleeper sequence. What's really cool about it is you're basically sending people an email, and the whole purpose of this is really just to see if they're interested in whatever it is that you have to offer. All right, so here's how this works. What we're going to do is they've come into your funnel either from another campaign or you've opted them in straight into this campaign. And they're going to get an email that looks like this. We're going to send them a couple of emails a day, because remember, not everybody's opening our emails, so we can send more emails now because people get so much. All right, and here's what the emails look like. Now remember, the purpose of the click sequence is just to get someone to click the link into email, because if they click, we know they're interested in what we have to sell, and then we can follow up with sales messaging later, right? So if we know that, then here's how you write this type of sequence. Notice it's really friendly, okay? The whole purpose of it is to say, hey, I've got something helpful for you. Here it is. So here's the framework of it. I say, hey, I just made you a really cool video that shows you how to get the awesome result that you're after without having to do stuff that you don't want to do. You can watch it here. You can put a little image of the video in there if you want to, and then it's simply designed to get them to click and go to a sales page. Now here's the trick about this sales page. Right? This could be a video sales page. It could also be an educational piece of marketing with a sales message attached, such as a blog post. It really doesn't matter. All we're really trying to do is, just like in a traditional product launch, give someone a video that helps them get results and then follow up with them after they watch the video. So can you make an offer in this video? Sure. Do you have to? No, because the next part of this campaign is where the true magic happens. So check this out. All right. They come into your funnel, they've either opted into this thing automatically or they were in the previous campaign and we just popped them in here. right? We put them through the click sequence, and let's say they're like, oh, I would love to check this thing out. I'm going to click on it, right? So this is your little sales message here. And remember, it's very friendly. There's a framework on how to do this. And they either buy or they don't. Now, let me ask you a question. As an experienced marketer, or maybe you're even new, do you think that everybody who clicks this is going to buy? Of course not, right? But if they clicked it, they're clearly interested in the topic that whatever your product is about covers, right? So if we had a product about making cookies and we sent an email that said, hey, here's a video that shows you how to make some cookies, if they click on it, obviously they're interested in that big result of making cookies, right? So if they didn't buy, it doesn't mean that they're not interested. It means they're like normal, rational people on the internet who are very distracted and who are probably procrastinating and who, like you and I, rarely make a purchase right when we first see something. So what's the logical thing for us to do? Of course, we want to follow up with them, but we only want to follow up with them if they click it. Okay, so here's how we do it, and here's how this takes the idea and the power of a traditional launch and really compresses it. So someone clicks, right? They don't buy because they're normal, rational human beings. We put them in something called a countdown sequence, and here's how that works. The minute they click to go watch that little video or whatever you told them about in the click sequence, here's what happens behind the scenes. Your marketing system will know that they've got 4 days to buy your product. And it's going to set that deadline automatically in the background through marketing magic to expire 4 days from now. And then in this click sequence, it's going to send them emails every day for a couple days, 3 days, 4 days, however many you want. And it's going to put that expiration date in the email dynamically and automatically. So let's say they click your video on January 1st and your deadline is 4 days. The system automatically knows that it's on January 4th and it says, your deadline's on January 4th. It puts it right there in the email. But the best way to really make this powerful is to also have your web page reflect the exact same dates in your email. So it all matches up. Let's say they don't click on January 1st. Let's say they click on January 2nd. Well, if they do that, it's going to change your deadline automatically to January 5th. Whatever you want it to do also is going to do it on your web page as well. Whatever you set it to do, it's going to do that automatically. Okay? Same thing if they click on January 2nd, it'll say, okay, or January 3rd, it'll say, hey, your deadline's January 6th. I think you get the point. Hey, what if like they check their email sometime randomly in March, on like March 12th or something, and then they click the link in the email on March 12th? You know what? The systems are so powerful that they can actually know that, oh, hey, that guy's now interested in this thing, and it'll automatically trigger these emails to go out with the proper deadlines in there. And by the way, if you do something like this, you want to make that scarcity real. Don't go saying, hey, it expires on whatever, the 17th, and then like they come on the 18th and it's still there. That's a great way to lose credibility. In order to really maintain that trust and maintain the actual power of scarcity, this stuff needs to turn off automatically without you having to wake up at midnight and like change your web page. So this is one of the most powerful sequences in marketing, and chances are, if you've ever purchased anything through a product launch or whatever, this is the time that you made your purchase. So they've clicked, they're in your countdown sequence. Some people will buy, but you know what? Not everybody will, okay? We've got a couple of things we need to accept as absolute fact. And I know this kind of goes against some of the hype you hear online, but here's the deal. Not every single person that you send an email to is going to click your website. Not every single person that goes into a campaign and sees your offer is going to buy. The real power in online marketing is to actually understand what people are interested in, and if they don't take action, know what to do next and have that done automatically. So here's what we do, okay? If they don't buy at the end of this countdown sequence, right? And if they never click from the click sequence in and of itself, what are we going to do with them? We're going to use that lead compounding ideology I told you about earlier, and we're going to put them in another campaign. And this one might be the single most powerful type of campaign in existence. It's called the Reason Why sale, and it's built on my now infamous 4-day cash machine sale. You probably heard about the 4-day cash machine. You know, it was actually invented by my cousin, the brilliant marketer Trey Smith. And years ago, I used it to really explode my business. It worked so well for me, I just gave the campaign away for free to anyone online who wanted it. In fact, it was actually a swipe file that I just gave away as a PDF. And tons of people used it, and they wrote back and they said, man, this is so powerful. And lots of people just used that one campaign by itself to run their entire business. Like that's all they did, which was really, really cool to know that. Now we've taken the same methodology behind the 4-day cash machine and turned it into something that you can use all the time. And I'm calling it the reason why sale. Here's how it works. You take someone, they're on your list, and you offer them a special offer, but you give them a reason why you're doing it. And interestingly enough, and funnily enough, the original reasoning behind the 4-day cash machine, the big reason why was I'm making the special offer to thank you for being my subscriber. It worked back then. Even that silly reason is actually reason enough now. But you could actually have a reason why for anything. Let's say, for example, that someone had attended your webinar, but they didn't buy. You could follow up with a reason why, saying, I'm making this special offer to you because you were on my webinar. The possibilities are endless. As a matter of fact, I just did a Google search for weird holidays, and there's just like tons of them every month. For example, Polar Bear Plunge Day, Fruit Cake Toss Day, Opposite Day. Literally, there are hundreds. Like every month, there's all these weird, actual, legitimate, bizarre national holidays. The reason why could be anything. The power in this campaign isn't necessarily whatever you're using as your reason why, it's the way the campaign is structured. Okay, so let's say they did something such as they were in your previous campaign or they finished a webinar or whatever, and you want to deploy this. Here's how it works, all right? So what we do is we deploy something called a reason why sequence. And essentially, this is taking the psychology of a fire sale, but we're kicking it up a notch by adding a little bit of extra incentive. Check it out. So what we do, typically these last for 4 days. We want to send a couple of emails every day because, again, people are rudely not standing around waiting for us to email them. So chances are they're going to miss a couple. That's why you want to email them multiple times. All right. And here's how the emails are structured. So first of all, notice that we're using the same deadline structure that we did in the countdown sequence. Now, here's the deal. We know that scarcity works, right? We also know that until now, it's been like virtually impossible to automate scarcity. So if you wanted to do it, you'd have to actually sit there, type the emails every day and send them. Now we have the ability just to turn this on and have it run all the time in the background, making sales for you through the automation I'm going to show you about in a minute. And just like before, the system's going to know automatically when the person comes into your campaign, and it's going to update these dates in the emails, and it's going to update these dates on the web pages for you automatically. And if he comes in a couple days later, boom, it updates him. If he comes in a couple days later, it updates him. If he comes in a couple of months later, it'll do the same thing, right? Everything is automated and the scarcity just works. But here's the psychology behind it. The psychology is all in the way the email copy is written. So the 3 big things that make this campaign so powerful are these. Number 1, the reason why. Even if it's something as silly as National Fruitcake Day, or even if it's something as random as thank you for being my email subscriber, for reasons unknown to me, simply having a reason why makes this more powerful. Number 2, it is the actual scarcity, right? The scarcity needs to be real. Number 3, it is the addition of bonuses, right? So we want to make the offer really, really special. We can't just say, here's the thing, go get it. We have to give them a discount or bonuses or both. Right? So that's why we have this copy framework that I want to share with you. So we start by saying, hey, for the next 4 days, you can get a discount on insert product name here because of reason why. So for the next 4 days, you can get a huge discount on the super secret product as a result of my gratitude for you being my email subscriber. Whatever you want, right? Then we go on to say, if you're serious about getting the big result, you'll see I have that in brackets there. You're going to love product name because then you list some benefits, right? So we're pre-selling it a little bit. But we don't stop there. Then we say, and if the discount isn't enough to get you really excited, you're also getting the bonus. And tell them what the bonus is, then tell them what the benefits of having the bonus are. And then we end with a little scarcity. And the big thing, again, is to do this all automatically, right? So no matter when they enter the campaign, you want a system that's going to know, here's when the deadline is. It's going to tell it in the email. It's going to automatically update the email, automatically update the website, and it's just going to work for you in the background.
So imagine if you had all of this just set up for you, but in your business. Now, obviously, this would be incredibly powerful. And as a matter of fact, all of the top marketers that you see online, they do this kind of stuff. I mean, surely you don't think they're just sitting around on Sunday night going, well, I wonder what we're going to send to everybody next week. No, everything is programmed in advance. Everything is happening automatically behind the scenes. That type of automation that Frank showed you is what will enable you to focus on the really important stuff, which is coming up with new ways to bring people into your funnels and campaigns in the first place. This is incredibly powerful. This will, without question, revolutionize your business. The good news is, this style of automated marketing works, period. The bad news is, as you could imagine, building something like this is a major pain in the ass. I mean, there are technological elements that make it extremely complicated. You got to figure out the coding. You've got to figure out how to integrate this thing with that thing. And even right now, I'm simplifying it. And of course, you got to hope that it doesn't break. It takes forever and it costs a mint. Well, remember at the beginning of this video when I said, hey, listen, don't take any notes because I'm going to show you how you can actually have all of this stuff by pressing a single button? Well, that was a true statement. When I say that, I literally mean press a button. Or click a mouse, however you want to characterize it. How do you do it? Well, it's all thanks to a brand new tool called Kartra. Kartra does a ton of amazing things, including the fancy stuff you just saw from Frank. Kartra comes built in with a complete automation system that literally allows you to press buttons and your entire campaign is automatically created. So for example, let's say you wanted to have a quick launch campaign like Frank just showed you. You would log into Kartra, you would press a button that said quick launch, and the next thing you know, everything is built for you automatically. The opt-in page, the sales page, the order forms, the thank you pages, the emails, even all of the complicated automation and rules that Frank explained during his training, yeah, that's done for you as well. You see, you just customize a few obvious things, but that's it. You don't have to figure out how to integrate anything. You don't have to figure out how to do any coding. You literally press a button and everything gets built. And here's something that makes what you get when you press that button even better. All of the assets that are created, they are elite level. That's because we are working with Frank Kern to utilize the actual campaigns he uses in his business. And we've turned them into Kartra assets and we make them part of each of the types of campaigns you just saw. That means not only does the structure remain intact, the copy for all of the pages and emails comes along with it. All you need to do is customize them for your product offer. Give yourself an hour with Kartra and you could have a Frank Kern strategized and written marketing campaign, selling services, capturing leads, and launching products for you. You're welcome. I mean, if that's all Kartra did, that would make a lot of people very happy. But Kartra is so much more than that. It's a drag and drop, super easy website builder. It's an email campaign builder. It's an autoresponder. It's a membership site builder, meaning when you sell something online, it can whip up a membership site or a learning portal that's automatically password protected for you, so you don't have to integrate it to another system. It's an order form builder, so it will make your order forms look cool, and you'll have access to pre-done templates that have been tested to convert. You can put order bumps on your order form. It's a one-click upsell system. It's a total shopping cart with payment plans and subscription options. It's a customized funnel builder if you want to build your own advanced automation stuff from scratch using a spectacular drag and drop interface. It's also a video marketing and video hosting system. It even builds you a help desk and ticket system complete with live chat. It's literally everything that you need to run your business with one very easy to use system. And you know what? It gets way better. So for example, you're probably thinking to yourself, these campaigns look pretty cool, but what am I going to say in the emails? What do I say on the web pages? Well, guess what? Kartra actually builds these campaigns for you at the press of a button, but with those Frank Kern authored campaigns, it already has the pre-written email copy templates built in for you. When you're ready to build this thing and launch it, you don't actually have to reinvent the wheel. You customize the templates to be related to what it is that you're selling, and you press go. The same thing with the sales pages, the same thing with the order pages. Literally everything is already done as much for you as humanly possible. You just get to model what's already worked, make it fit your business, press the launch button, and you're ready to go. Hey, the bottom line is the system flat out works. If you want to have the incredible power of the kind of automation Frank just showed you, and then some, then Kartra is for you. That's the good news. The bad news is Kartra's not open to the public yet, but it will be. And you can probably imagine people are going to go crazy for it when we release it, especially when you see that all of the stuff I just told you is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Because of the incredible demand, Kartra will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. If you want to use it right now, click the button below and request an invitation. Do it now. And when you do, you'll be placed at the front of the line. You'll be given a chance to get in, and you'll be eligible for our limited opening discounts and bonuses. So go ahead and request your invite right now so you can put the power of all the stuff we've just showed you to work for you. I'm Andy Jenkins. Thanks so much for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you within Kartra.